Hello, welcome to Dundrolls Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today we have another comic book review for you guys today. Today we're reviewing Judge Dredd Crusade and Frankenstein Division. Right? This graphic novel collects two stories, one from 94 and one from 95. This graphic novel was printed in 2012 by 2008 AD. And it goes for 17 US, 20 Canadian, right? And the reason why I'm reviewing this, because I recently watched Sleazy P. Martini's commentary for the Sylvester Stallone's Judge Dredd film, which a lot of people crap on that movie, but visually it was more aligned with the it was closer to the comic book than the 2012 Dredd film with Carl Urban, which was a straight up rip off of the Raid Redemption. And a lot of people people kind of get annoyed when I point that out, but it was a straight up. You can't tell me it was not a ripoff of the Raid Redemption. The straight up lines from the movie was stolen from the Raid Redemption. Man, it was still a good. The Dredd 2012 was still a good movie, but I think I still prefer the Sylvester Stallone film, even though it was a crappy movie, but visually it was closer to the comic book, right? So the stories for this one, right? The first one is Crusade, which is written by Mark Millar and Grant Morrison with art by Mick, Austen, and premiered in 2000 AD Progs 928 through 937, which this story Crusade is a straight up. It kind of reminded me of The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, but the story for this one is it takes place after the Apocalypse War, where the Mega City 1 was at war with the Soviet city, Mega City East, Mega City 2 or whatever. And what happens is one of their judges from Mega City 1, one of their judges from Mega City 1 returns from space with a message from God and crashes in Antarctica. And what happens is all the different judges from the different megacities. This is the Vatican judge, which looks super cool, but they really make the Vatican Catholicism look really bad in this book. So yeah, all the different megacities go to Antarctica, right? You see a bunch of them here. Where that's the Australian one, the Egyptian one, the British one, doesn't even have a gun, but it has a bomb. That one's from Africa. That guy's from Ireland, and this one's from Indonesia or something. Yeah, and it's this story is basically a battle royale where all the different judges are killing each other for the. Killing each other to get to the get to the ship, so they can find out what the message from God was. And the Soviet judge and the Vatican judge really have a hard on for Judge Dredd, right? And lots of over the top gore in this comic book, right? And the art looks fantastic, right? Though the dialogue is a bit wacky, and they have the fake swearing, right? And I have a hard time believing you can throw an axe at somebody and chop their arm off. That was yeah, that's what happened here. Yeah, and it turns out the guy the judge Eckhart, I think his name. Oh, and this is very stereotypical. The Japanese judge, who's a female, was too injured to fight Dredd. Dredd didn't want to fight her, so she kills herself. She has seppuku. Oh my god, all the magazines in the background fell over. Yeah. So yeah, you have a really cool standoff with the Vatican judge and Judge Dredd. And it turns out, what's his name comes back from space as a monster, and they kind of reference H.P. Lovecraft's story Colors from Space, which was recently turned into a movie with Nicolas Cage. And like the monster, you can see the monster kind of reminds me of Man-Thing, which don't. And this is a Brian Boland cover. Tell me that doesn't look like Man-Thing to you, alright? Oh, and yeah. So the second story is Frankenstein Division. You can see the Frankenstein monster there, which is written by Mark Millar with art by Carlos Ezequerra, who I think is one of the original artists on Judge Dredd. And this collects issues from 868 through 871. So this is the older story. Okay. Frankenstein Division. Where this is a shorter story, but this is about basically the Soviet judges took all the dead body parts of their best Soviet judges from the aftermath of the Apocalypse War and put them together to make a killing machine. Alright? Called Project X. That's him right there. And he's killing like everybody who gets in his way, including his fellow Russian judges. And is headed for Mega City 1 to get revenge on Judge Dredd, because like they were all the Soviet judges were all the Soviet judges that he was made from were all killed from Judge Dredd. So you have this funny scene where Judge Dredd goes to stop this crazy guy from nuking his city, his like apartment building, because they keep like dumping garbage outside his front door, right? And Judge Dredd arrests him and gives everybody in the building 10 years in jail for illegal dumping. Right. And yeah, you have like two of the Soviet judges who created the Frankenstein monster, tells Dredd, warns Mega City 1 about it, right, in person, which they soon regret that. Yeah, so it's basically what happens is like the monster shows up, kills a crap load of people, and then they have a final, there's a final fight with Judge Dredd and the Frankenstein monster, which you can figure out who wins. And there's also a reference to Lethal Weapon 2, where he goes to kill the two Soviet judges who killed the Frankenstein monster, and they're like, "We have diplomatic immunity," and it's just been revoked. Blam blam. He kills them. So the book also comes with a cover gallery. So we got some cool covers. There's the Brian Boland cover. Yeah, so I like this book. If you can get it for cheap, I would recommend it. Great action, great art. The dialogue and the humor is pretty fun. It's a solid 7 out of 10. Did not really feel like the Grant Morrison story. Didn't really feel that much like a Grant Morrison story, but like it was probably his idea. The monster being like mutated in space, like that did feel a bit like Grant Morrison, and like Grant Morrison comes off like a H.P. Lovecraft fan, not Mark Millar, not so much. But yeah, I enjoyed this book, and I would totally recommend it. For next week's comic book review, we're going to review the 100-page Teen Titans book comic that I got for like $2.50. Yeah, I got this for like last year's like comic book day, which they had like months later or whatever. Yeah, so we're gonna review that next week, and look forward to my the finale of the Vampire Week movie reviews. We're gonna review Queen of the Damned today, which is based off the Anne Rice book, which a lot of people hated that movie. I don't know. I watched it as a kid. I thought it was good. Did I like it as an adult? Find out in my movie